Hello and welcome back to another Adorabuild video. I'm so happy that you're joining me again. My name is Ruth and my little dog is called Pucky. Today we will be checking out my Lego city for the very first time. So today I will actually be taking you guys on a little bit of a tour through one section of my Lego city that I have built so far. And I'm really excited about sharing my Lego city with you guys. And I'm also really looking forward to be able to talk to you guys about my creative process and my design ideas as well. Let's get started. So the reason why we're starting with this part of my Lego city is because this is actually the first section I started to build. And as you can see here, I do have the Royal Celebration boat in front, which I think is an absolutely beautiful design and a really lovely build, which is one of the Little Mermaid sets, and that set number is 41153. And this set was released in 2018. So what I'll do now is I'll just lift that out of the way so that we can have a look at the rest of the landscape. The other set that's featured in this build is the Romantic Kiss set, which I actually keep calling the tea rooms, because I do think that this building looks a lot like a beautiful tea room set. And the set number for this is 41052, and I'm pretty sure that this set was released around about 2015 or 2016. And I have actually modified this set a little bit. So when I place this particular building on the edge of this lagoon area, is that it actually sat quite low. So I have actually raised this build up by one brick. And I did that all the way through the design towards the back as well, so that then the flowers, the chairs and the table are actually also still be visible out of the windows. And for me, this building modification actually changed the way that that particular building sat in this area as well. Instead of it looking like it was sinking or falling into the lagoon, it now actually looks like it would be quite a nice little place to have a tea. This seating area and the jetty also came with this set. And I have extended the jetty quite a bit because that was actually quite short previously, so I have actually made that longer. The other part of this particular set that came with the original build was a willow tree. However, I have actually considerably changed the willow tree design that came along with the original set as well. The vast majority of what I have actually done within this particular section of my city is add in all the landscaping and the terrain. So I have built the cave and the cliffs all the way around here, and I've also put in all the water area, including the rockwork for the lagoon. So my design concept was that this section of the cliff had been like carved out or hewn out so that the little tea room area could sit underneath some sort of shelter. And as you start to scratch the surface of the grey rockwork, purple marble is revealed underneath. However, in order to make sure that it translates well, is that I have also included some sections and small little pieces of purple throughout some of the grey area as well. One of the things that was really important to me, particularly with this build, was actually making sure that I got the water looking the way that I wanted it to look. So for me, I did spend quite a bit of time going backwards and forwards with what coloured tiles and plates to use, and then also thinking about how I can make sure that it looks semi-realistic. Once again, I did really enjoy the water that JC from Small Brick City had developed for some of his builds, particularly around his lighthouse. Prior to seeing his video, I actually hadn't put in any white pieces. I had just been using the blue and the clear pieces. Now, once I saw that video with some of the white, is that I realized that I really wanted that in some areas. I did also include a very, very small waterfall in order to help with the realism of thinking about how this particular celebration boat would get in and out of the lagoon. So again, when it came to looking at that particular runoff for the water, is that I didn't want to indicate very heavy water flow, which is why I primarily focused on using the clear pieces instead of the white ones. I have really enjoyed working in and around the foliage in this section as well. So I have added in some flowers and lily pads along the front of this lagoon section. I've also put in some moss and seaweed on some of the rocks around the ocean, and then I've also put in these sort of dark green vines traveling across the top. Eventually there will also be more foliage on this section at the top here. However, for the moment I have just left that as grassy terrain. In this section of the city, I have actually included a couple of lovebirds nesting on the cliff face. So here you can see the side view, which is quite an unusual angle to have a look at with this build. But I think that this just goes to show a lot of the layers that I have been using across this section of the city. And then you can also see through here the various sections of the terrain moving up to on top of the cliff face. So we can't go any further talking about my Lego city without actually discussing the mini dolls as well. So in the 2014 set, we got a Princess Ariel, and of course we also got a Prince Eric. So Ariel is in her dress. However, both of these outfits do actually look a lot more casual when compared to the more recent set of the Royal Celebration boat. So when we look at the Ariel mini doll, you will see that she does have the larger dress piece, and she also has a beautiful cape as well, which does have a row of love heart cutouts too. And then we also have Prince Eric, who has an updated face piece. And as we all know, we can't forget about Max the dog either. I think that he is an absolutely beautiful little dog to add to my city, and I'm very, very happy to have him here. So that's all the mini dolls for these two sets that are featured in this part of my city. As you can see here, there are some photos of various stages of my build. These were actually taken on my phone, so I'm not too sure how well they're going to show up on this video clip, but I thought that you guys would like to see some of the different steps and some of the different phases this section took on before it actually arrived at this point. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. It would be absolutely fantastic if you could give it a thumbs up. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel as well, and also feel free to leave any comments down below. I always enjoy talking to people about Lego and their design processes, and it is just a real passion of mine that I really enjoy. So feel free to get in touch. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye bye. The first set. Shush. The first set.